I wonder what's Nia doing on a raft. After for more than 3 years, the movie Journey Beyond Sodor. Um, let's review the JBS engines. So, Theo is one of the experimental engines along with Merlin and Lexi. Um, I think he is based on a traction engine that is like Fergus but with added cogs and extra bits and a cab. As you can see, Theo has a small face and at his bumper beam, he's missing a coupling hook. Unlike in the movie where he pulls Thomas, I think that was a missing point on his adventures model. But I think that's okay. There is Theo's cogs and his wheels. You can see I detailed it a little bit with silver and black marker to show the cogs like in the show. Then at his back he has a coupling and some windows and a tail lamp. As you can see, Theo's size is accurate as Thomas is bigger than him. And now let's compare it with the Adventures Thomas model. As you can see, Thomas is a little bit bigger, but I think they're equal in size cabs because Thomas' cab is squish and small. Overall, Theo's model is very good. And now let's move on to the next experimental engine. Here we have Merlin. He is based on a N15 class of LSWR, the London South and West Railway, I think. As you can see, there's his face with his 3 funnels. And there's his nameplate. It says Merlin, his number 783 and his tender 783 as well. Compared with his Flare model, as you can see, their colors are very similar and their faces are a bit similar as well. They have just a little bit a different expression of their smiling face. The Flare one has a smiling smirk face, while the Adventures one has the full smile face with the teeth showing out. But this model has a downside. As you can see, when I try to roll him in the take and play tracks, he is rubbing against the center one and also with the Adventures track as well and the collectible railway. I think it's because of the low clearance of his chassis. As you can see, his wheels are almost close to the chassis. Unlike the Adventures Thomas, as you can see, there's a big space here. Unlike Merlin, it's almost the same with this tender. But overall, Merlin's model is very good. And one thing that's great for it is almost made of metal and it's a bit heavier. I think this is one of the heaviest Adventures model that they had created. Also, his tender has a weight as well. It's heavier. It's heavy as well. Now let's move on to the next JBS character that's introduced. We are now going to the Steelworks engines. And the first Steelworks engines that we have is Hurricane. Hurricane is also an experimental engine with this basis. As you can see, I tried to paint his details, the red front plate. It was black before, and his buffer as well with silver. And I think I painted this part here for, I think, the pipes and those linings here because they were not painted as well. And his cab over here, as you can see, I painted it black like in the show as well. And on his back, as you can see, I painted his back cab with black and his back plate as well with red and silver marker. And compared with this flyer model, as you can see, Hurricane's Adventures model color brown is a little bit lighter than the Plarial's dark color, and they're almost similar as well. As you can see, their front cab has black colored, and they have similar faces as well. I think both are accurate to the show, and both have the same details at the top. But one thing's for sure that they did try to make it cheap. As you can see, Hurricane's basis has 5-wheel arrangement, but his Adventures one only has 3 on each, so that's making him an 060 here, but in reality he's an 010. And as you can see, there's a space there in between the front part where they can just add one extra more wheels, but they didn't. Overall, Hurricane's model is great and is almost accurate to the show, but I think his size just a little bit need to be bigger, because as you can see on the next Steelworks engine that we're going to show, there's a big difference in size of them. And the next one is Hurricane's partner in the Steelworks, Frankie, the diesel shunter. As you can see, Frankie is based on a Hodswell engine, a diesel engine that this base is used to shunt in the Manchester dockyards in the UK. And as you can see, Frankie's model looks like more than a 2013 Take and Pay model, and if she was made back then along with the others, I think they would have looked pretty good as well with the smart magnets. As you can see, I painted some details like the buffer and the black part here where his stairs are, because that's like in the show, and the front cab detail windows. There's her side with their name Frankie, and most of the details are already painted from the factory as well. Her back cab, those details were not painted, so I painted them along with the tail lights. And there's her face with the MSC logo. I think that stands for the Mainland Steelworks Company, but I think in reality it also can stand for the Manchester Shipyard Company, but in real life it says Hodswell there. Now compared to her Lara model, as you can see, both are similar as well. And one thing is that Lara is an unpowered model and the cab is a little bit small, unlike that Adventures model, which is accurate to the show. And both have almost the same face, but I think the Plarial one captures her more than the Adventures model one. But the Adventures face model is also good as well. And one thing about the Plarial one has is the buffer beam. There it says his number 4002. Unlike the Adventures one, there's nothing at all. But I wish that they could have extended it lower with this number as well. Overall, the adventurous model for the Journey Beyond Sodor movie is very good. And as you can see, I'm using one of the introduced characters there, Lexi. Maybe I will get her sometime in the future if I can find her still, because he is a little bit rare now because Adventure is gone. And unfortunately, these models are not yet introduced in the push along range. I think they will not be made, but I think they can be, hopefully. And maybe in the future we can see again Theo, Hurricane, Lexi, and Frankie, because Merlin was last seen in the season 22 episode. Maybe we'll get to see them sometime soon in the show, hopefully, when Thomas goes again to the mainland, to the steelworks, or somewhere there, to see his friends and his friends that are working in the steelworks now, along with the experimental engines. And yeah, so guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And this is NWR Thomas 25, and see you on the next video.